When I was working on my XT500 Yamaha, putting on a different exhaust system because I normally have been running this off road, but I want to make it street legal. So I've been playing with the exhaust. And exhaust for these are really spendy, hard to find. Like the original exhaust, if you're trying to restore one, will cost you a fortune. In fact, I see some new old stock ones that they want like a couple thousand for, just for the exhaust. They use the same sort of system, well, different variations. There's one where the pipe goes down and then comes up with this god awful big muffler up here and then goes back. There's different ways, but they all are kind of interchangeable. But it was hard to find a decent used one. The trick you run into, you can find the front pipe and you can find mufflers, but it's this S pipe that goes in the fender next to the frame and by the shock. Very tight on clearances. That's why they have a kind of a squash in the pipe. Used ones are usually shot. Like this one has been modified a few times with extra brackets welded on. But I was able to find one, a company that I don't know how long they've been making them, but I've just started seeing them, Delcovic. And for the complete system is around 300 up to like 400 because this is all stainless, very well made, uh, really excellent clamping, and even like say where this S pipe connects to the header pipe, they have this strange donut that's got to be some kind of a carbon fiber thing. It's not metal, though it looks like it's metal. But that's what tightens down to on that clamp. There's an extra one. The one thing it doesn't have is a heat shield. The regular Yamaha heat shield is this contraption that goes on, but they don't have the holes or the nuts welded on there for it. So I went with, there's an aftermarket that is held on with hose clamps. That just tightens down. Because really where you need it is right in this area. Though I might put that exhaust wrap on the header pipe. Because, boy, if you get up against that, that's hot. But it's an interesting setup. And, I had my hesitations for 300. But really, for the quality of the pipe and everything considered, it's a pretty good deal, really. It should last forever. It's a close fit, but they are a close fit. It barely clears the cylinder, barely over the oil filter, barely clears the frame, barely clears the shock. It's a lot of barely clears. But I think this pipe is actually a bigger diameter than the original one was, too. It's interesting. One thing I have to do is there's this tab that comes with it. One bolt hole lines up. That's a fender bolt. But I got to weld that tab on right there. I'm just waiting. I've got leaves everywhere, so it's supposed to rain, and then I'm going to do it after it rains because you don't want to start a fire now. But not a bad setup. I'm kind of impressed with the quality of it. It hangs here and it's attached there. There is no intermediate brackets. The original pipe, there was a bracket here, and it was a hell of a thing, but this looks good. But like I say, I might put the heat wrap on it once I'm sure. But even there, it's going to be a close fit for the heat wrap. But these always, stainless always blues, so I'm thinking, I just as soon put the heat wrap on it. But it clears the tire, and even though I'm running an oversized tire, it clears the shock. But like I say, you don't have a lot of extra room on these. But pretty good option. And this is the shorter version of the muffler. They make a longer version, and they also make a carbon fiber version. They're an oval that gives you the room. There's a baffle in there, kind of a cone-shaped one that is removable. There's a screw here, and they even give you the plug to plug the hole. They send you a little tube of the high heat silicone exhaust sealant, which would be in this joint here, and a ton of stickers. But I'll have to check what they do make other exhaust systems for other bikes. I'll have to look and see if they make one for an SR, or at least the downpipe for an SR. Because I can work with other mufflers, but the downpipes on them stock ones, they come down. Problem is they're double wall. The idea was to keep the chrome from, bluing, but the inner wall always burns out on them. So you want a one-piece pipe. What I have on my SR that I run on the street, I have one of them. And I actually considered even running a SR type pipe on this one, get down low. But this is a clean fit. I'll give it that. And very well made. These are those really heavy duty clamps. I really like those. I'm glad to see that they went that way. You're always a little leery because sometimes people can cheap out on that sort of thing. But they went the extra mile with this. Yeah, and I'd swear they must be made in this country because it came very quickly. No, I'm impressed with it. But I know they make them for a lot of other bikes. But this one, it is the unusual bends that makes this one hard to find and expensive. But I think I got that problem licked. Looks good to me. Have to see what it sounds like, but first I got to weld that tab. Which means I got to take the seat off and the fender off, but I'm waiting for a little bit of moisture because I'd start a forest fire if I fire that welder up now.